Fáilte go dtí the Ace Deuce of Piping fiche. Well, it's such a pity that we can't all be in Liberty Hall together, ach ná bigí bortha mar tá ceochar an special ta anrí binne péiscéile. Now, we'll be travelling around the country to various musicians, but we'll start here at na Puibrí Uilleann on Henrietta Street. It's the Mahara Vesasta and Chiad Chioltoid a chur in Murláthir. This is a young piper from County Carlow, Colm Broderick. That was a gorgeous set of tunes. Will you tell me what they were?
Yeah, the first one was Give Us a Drink of Water, the second one, The Miners of Wicklow, and the last one was Donal na Gréine.
Lovely, lovely tunes. And tell me, you're from Carlow. Where did you start learning the pipes?
I started learning the pipes with Ciarán Summers, a flute player and piper from Carlow, and I also got lessons, I suppose, from a number of different pipers over the years. John Toohey would be one, and David Power another. So.
That's a very special set of pipes that you have. Will you tell us
Absolutely,
about that?
Yeah. So this is a set of pipes that was made in 1936 by Leo Rowson, and I suppose appropriate because this would be Leo's the 50th anniversary since his passing. But Leo made this set for a man called Sean Reid, and then they passed into the hands of Willie Clancy, and Willie Clancy had them for a while. And around the late 60s, Liam Flynn got his hands on them, I suppose, and has had them ever since until his passing in 2018. So the pipes were given to the Pipers Club, and they very generously asked me to play them. So I'm just honoured, hugely honoured to be playing them, and just want to thank Nippy Breland for asking me to play them.
What a fabulous opportunity, and you played them so, so beautifully. Will you play us another few tunes now?
Absolutely. I'll play an old harping tune. It's called The Fairy Queen, and again comes from Liam Flynn's repertoire, but I believe it's a tune that predates Turlough O'Carlin, but I think at some stage or other Turlough O'Carlin got hold of the tune, and it's I suppose part of his collections now, but yeah, so I'll give this tune a go.
Lovely.
So my last set of tunes is a set of reels. The first one is, I believe, from the Goodman collection, and I learned it from the piper from Leitrim, Brian McNamara. It's called Our House at Home. The second tune is from the playing of Liam Flynn, and that's the Anachary Lasses. And I'll finish up with a popular reel, The Wind That Shakes the Barley. And I'd just like to thank na Uilleann for asking me to be part of this concert. I'm absolutely delighted to be involved, and I hope you all enjoy watching the rest of it.
Allen and Shin or Colm Broderick or Fiddle Liam Flynn. Well, Colm and all of the performers for today's concert have also previously performed at the Sessions with the Pipers regular gig that we do in the Cobblestone on the first Tuesday of every month, and I am sure that I'm not the only person who is missing out greatly on those gigs. But not to worry, you can see all of them, previous performances, you can see them on pipers.ie, including our next two guests, Sinead Doireann Glackin agus Sarah Flynn. Well, is as tuisgurt chahar fra clia gun vertsha ach tá sim fuile ag Sarah ag geol chun dain chláid agus dolam Doireann a chud ceol on haar Kevin Glackin, and she's no stranger to our screens as you see her regularly present music programmes for TG Ceathair. A rábhí agus a hochtaig chuir siad amach album all-in dar bhanam The Housekeepers agus fuair siad inspiráid gon album seo ó one cheoltarí mór le rá ón fichiú híis, Aggie White agus Julia Clifford in the Mask. So seohiad inisiad, hís the Piper's Corner agus iad the casa, couple of real rún ar dús.
Few tunes that we got from Aggie White. She recorded them in the Scarf Flat in 1951, I think. Isn't that right, Sarah? But yeah, I think we both were cognizant that we'd show you our little part of the world, which is the north side of Dublin, and you're from Marino and I'm from Clontarf, and I suppose we've been kind of hanging around together and playing a few tunes for a long time, and a lot of those nights has been here in the Piper's Corner, in fairness to Sean Potts. So what do you think, Sarah? What's the next twist?
Next up we have a version of the Butcher's March that we got from the great fiddle player Molly Myers from Kerry.
dash into a few more tunes now, aren't we?
Yeah, the first one is a tune that we got from a very popular tune that all the women played, called, what's the first one called?
Toss the Feathers.
Toss the Feathers.
I suppose we better mention here as well when you say all the women who we're talking about. So we mentioned previous that we recorded an album last year, and it was really an investigation into female musicians during the 20th century, and a lot of the names that I suppose we focused on were the likes of LMA O'Dwyer and
Aggie
Mrs.
White,
Galvin, Aggie White,
Molly Myers Murphy, and
that's it. Go on, the last one, can you think of it?
And Nora Hurley.
Nora Hurley. And yeah, this would have been, I suppose, a common tune played by all of those women.
Yeah, LMA, and Aggie, and yeah, well, not all of them, a couple of them played it. And we're going to follow that up with
a version of Jenny Pickin' Cockles that we got from, can you remember? Mrs. Galvin.
Mrs. Galvin. And then Doireann's favourite tune.
We couldn't come to the Potts' pub without playing a Tommy Potts tune, and of course we're only across the road from the iconic Halfpenny Bridge and the Liffey Banks, so we're going to play Tommy Potts' kind of a twist on Drowsy Maggie.
Doireann Glackin agus Sarah Flynn. Well, Quinn se anáthasarm an chéad bhean eile a chur mar lochid, sinní Anne Skelton. Well, Anne is a native of Claremorris in County Mayo, but she's been living in Galway for the last 35 years or so. She's a regular teacher at various summer schools around the country, and I'm sure, like the rest of us, that she's very much looking forward to getting back to Milltown, Drumshanbo and the Fleadh Cheoil. So Shoheen is she, a casa óran, it's all she on the head, John Kelly.
This is a song I got from my father, John Kelly. It's called Break the News to Mother. It's a war song that he got from his Uncle Tom. As the shots and shells were ringing o'er the battlefield, the boys in blue were fighting their noble flag to shield. Came a cry from their brave captain, "Look, boys, our flag is down. Who'll volunteer to save it from disgrace?" "I will," a young boy shouted, "I'll bring it back or die." Then jumped into the thickest of the fray. Saved his flag, but gave his young life for his country's sake. They brought him back and heard him softly say, "Just break the news to mother. She knows how dear I love her. And tell her not to wait for me, that I'm not coming home. Just say there is no other can take the place of mother. Then kiss her dear sweet lips for me, and break the news to her." From afar a noted general had witnessed this great deed. "Who saved our flag? Speak up, lads, 'twas noble, brave indeed." "Here he lies, sir," said the captain, "he's sinking very fast." And each man turned around to shed a tear. The general in a moment was down beside the boy, then gave a sigh that touched all hearts that day. "It's my son, my brave young hero. I thought him safe at home. Forgive me, father, for I ran away. But break the news to mother. She knows how dear I love her. And tell her not to wait for me, that I'm not coming home. Just say there is no other can take the place of mother. Then kiss her dear sweet lips for me, and break the news to her." I grew up in a singing household, really. So both my parents were singers. My dad was a step dancer. So singing was kind of a way of life in our house. They were farmers, and they kind of sang as they worked. So if my mother was baking or cooking, she was singing, and she was always singing around the house. So I probably got my singing style from my mother, but I got my songs from my father. So I'm in Galway since 1983. So I feel really, I've been much longer in Galway than I was in Mayo. And so I came to Galway at a very good time, the early 80s. There was a great traditional scene in Galway. And my husband, Joe, was a student then in NUIG. So he was gigging for his living. And so we got to go to loads of gigs, and he played loads of gigs around. So it was a lovely time to move to Galway. So I'm living there since. This is a song I got from Roisin White, the singer from County Down, who's a very good friend of mine. It's called "The Banks of Sweet Primroses." As I roved out one midsummer's morning to view the fields and to take the air, down by the banks of the sweet primroses, there I beheld a most lovely fair. 3 long steps I did take up unto her, not knowing her as she passed by. I stepped up to her, thinking to view her. She appeared to me like some virtuous bride. I said, fair maid, where are you going? Or what's the occasion for all your grief? I will make you as happy as any lady, if you will grant me one small relief. Stand off, you false deceiver. You are a deceitful and a false young man. It was you that caused my poor heart to wander, and to give me comfort lies all in vain. Oh, I'll go down to some lonesome valley, where no man on earth shall e'er me find, where the pretty small birds they do change their voices, and every moment blows blustering wind. So come all young men who go courting, pray pay attention to what I say, for there's many's the dark and a cloudy morning turns out to be a sunshiny day.
I'll finish off with a song from County Mayo, a song in praise of Michael Davitt that I got from my dad. It's called Brave Davitt, Who Is No More. Our land once more is filled with gloom, from her relief has sped another soul to swell the roll of our immortal dead. No greater blow could e'er know, true hearts the world o'er are filled with grief for that noble chief, brave Davitt, who is no more. No bolder mind could history find, prepared to do or dare. Where freedom's battle fierce is raged, his post was always there. He sought not fame, his only aim, our great rights to restore. For this intent his life was spent, brave Davitt, who is no more. In youth evicted, he was forced to face a felon's fate,
to see his parents' life's blood drained. No wonder he should hate the laws that forced them forth to die upon foreign shore. For vengeance nobly did he try, brave David who is no more. But one day he found the means to hound the persecutors down, when he the Land League's banner raised in storied Irish town. Then Mayo led that movement spread like fire from shore to shore. The sappers sigh, their masters fly from David who is no more. At home abroad his voice for us was pleading everywhere. Then he was sent to Parliament to represent us there. But when the British government denounced the gallant boy, he'll our MP no longer be, brave David who is no more. Where'er he roamed, our tyrant reigned, he raised that guiding hand. In Russia's barren tracts or in Paul Kruger's golden land, the weak man's foes he'd sure expose, far runners to the core. Was our struggling nation's greatest friend, brave David who is no more. But David's dead, his spirits fled, he rests in native clay. A nation's love entwines above his lonely grave today. While on this sod we'll vow to God to guard the flag he bore, and e'er pursue the doctrine true of David who is no more.
Gur míle maithe then. Well, tá héana súil go mór leis a géadmhairt eile a chluisteáil. Mick Conneely and Mary Bergin need very little introduction. Bhíonn tá deara gur héin gur Mary Bergin mar bhaint ar fadóige an fadó agus me go scoil in Innsruan is scoil Ciarán. A member of the group Doireann, winner of the prestigious TG Ceathair Traditional Musician of the Year award, Mary is one of our most celebrated musicians. In Dionach Léineo, tá Mick Conneely, and it's an absolute treat to hear these two play together.
We'd like to play two slip jigs now. The first one is a tune that I wrote as part of a suite that I was commissioned to write with Johnny Oak Conneely, and it's called On Gubadán, or the Sandpiper. And the second one is a tune I wrote a number of years ago for one of our Doireann CDs, and it's called All Five Ran. I was very fortunate because living in Dublin, I was able to go to a lot of the sessions, the clubs, like there was the Claremont's Club and the Pipers Club, and there was the Bridge Street Club. And at those clubs, like all the musicians from the country used to visit those. And so I had so many influences from all over the country. I do remember that I used to really love fiddle players, and I'd often find myself travelling around the country now, and I'd go and visit older fiddle players that mightn't have been technically very good, like, you know, they mightn't have been great fiddlers in the ornamentation and things, but they had such rhythm and gimp to their playing, and that's really attracted me so much. And to be honest, anyone that has that little gimp or whatever to the rhythm, like regardless of ornamentation, that's what attracts me. I mean, I remember hearing Tommy Peoples for the first time in one of the clubs in, I think, Bridge Street. He came in and he had his fiddle in a brown paper bag, and he just whipped it out and played. That stunned me, like, you know, I was just amazed by his playing. But then other people played, like Sean Keane. I remember hearing Sean Keane, fiddler, playing at a concert in the stadium, the big stadium in Dublin, and I was struck to the ground. And another time, stuck to the ground listening to Willie Clancy playing a flat set of pipes, you know. So there were moments, so many people really affected me, and it's just, I just feel so fortunate to have had the opportunity to hear all of those people playing, you know, and meeting them. And then the other thing is the characters as well. They were very important to me. It wasn't just the music, it was the personalities as well. That, to me, that was very important.
I was taught by a fellow in Claremont's in London called Brendan Markeer, and he was a good, brilliant fiddle player, great box player, and he taught banjo and everything. Really, he had, you know, like being a good musician and being a good teacher are two separate gifts to me. And just because you're a brilliant musician doesn't mean you can teach, but Mary has both of those. Brendan also had both of those. He had a brilliant way with the kids, and you'd be chomping at the bit for more tunes, you know. But we were lucky because me and my three sisters, I mean, Brendan travelled 50 miles from his home to teach us every Saturday and never took one penny off my mum and dad. Refused, point blank.
finish our set now with 3 reels. The first one is the Fermoy Lassies, second one is Sweeney's Dream, and the third one, Eddie Maloney's.
ceol ítach ó bhéirí Bergin agus ó Mick Conneely. Well, ar as go bla clíal inis go gluise muid Néillidh Mulligan agus a Uilleann Caoimhe. Born in Dublin, but with very strong Leitrim connections, Néillidh's father Tom was a renowned fiddle player and piper. We also have a connection again with Leo Rossum, as Néillidh was taught by Leo in the Pipers Club in Thomas Street. He also performed very recently on NPU's Piper's Choice DVD, along with Pat Broderick and with Pádraig McGovern. Unfortunately, Pat Broderick passed away earlier this year, and we would like very much to remember his contribution to the instrument today. In Uilleann le Néillidh, cloisimuid a Uilleann Caoimhe agus ní hamháin gur fiddler gon scothí achas dámseoir í freisin, mar eicas se binis.
been real on sin the Broken Pledge, Tom and Taran K. Ceann, Ceann Big Maher, often sin Ceann Curme Le Chéile I'm a Wahar, the Doireann real, bas Alcha Doireann, Geary Mawahar, so the Cliffs of Doireann, so just Curme on Ceann sin Le Chéile G. Playing Doireann, so it's branding a sin a Chasa Le Chéile, so she needs on Dá real, so cos me got Portanish, nacha?
Yeah.
Kate Porta for me o Seamus and Scrape and Macdon na Slee Russell August Ceann a Cashaniation na Arrogant Radar or 6 billion money. Okay? We'll try those two. I suppose I should say something about the pipes. These are pitched in the key of C sharp, and they're my father Tom's pipes. They were made in 1938 by a man from Abbeyshule called James Mulcrone, who was an engineer on the railways, and I believe fought in the Boer War. So he went back. These were made in 1938. My father came to Dublin in 35 and had heard the pipes for the first time in Mulligan and Leitrim. Leo Wilson was playing in Mulligan and he fell in love with the sound. So when he came to Dublin, he decided to get a set of pipes made, and because he became friendly with Seamus Ennis, he decided to get them in the same key that Seamus had his pipes in, which were C sharp, of course, his coin set. So this is the set I started off. He taught me in the early days. This is the set I started off my piping career on. And then he sent me on to Leo Rosen after that. And I was remarking there recently that Tommy Reck used to play these as well. He had them for a while. He had them for a good few years, I think, after my father got married, and played them for many years. And both Tommy and my father could play pipes and fiddle, so they could interchange instruments as well. I brought my daughter out for a boat trip to Ireland's Eye there last week, and
not me.
Something to do in all this lockdown, and we went around Ireland's Eye, and that's where sometimes they went out to play music in those days, in kind of the 1940s, when you couldn't play in pubs or public venues. So they'd get picnic together and go off on the boat and go around, go on to Ireland's Eye. And that was the old Moleswood Street Pipers Club, which Leo Rowson was involved with, my father, Tommy Reck, all those great people that kept the music alive in the Pipers Club. And they had that, like the Uilleann, they had that kind of, they got bag bellows and chanters made for young lads starting off, so many from Leo, so many from Macron, so many from different pipe makers. So they were very progressive in what they were trying to do and keep the pipes going in Dublin. But anyway, that's just by the way. So I played a slow, I'm going to play a slow air now called Cooking Glan, which was a slow air I learned from the singing of Seamus Haney, a great channel singer from Ciarán and Conneely. And we used to do concerts with Joe when he come back from Seattle in the old Damer Hall in Stephen's Green. And so I heard a lot of Joe singing when he was over and got to love his singing. And this particular slow air was a favourite of mine. I played it at Joe's grave when he's been put down in British graveyard in Carna in 1984, the 9th of May 1984. I remember the date well because my father was there as well, and he died 2 days later on the 11th of May 1984. So possibly this is the last slow air you heard me playing, but I'd like to play it for the memory of my father and for Seamus Haney as well. And also I'm a little hornpipe after that. This particular hornpipe, Tom Mulligan's hornpipe, is a favourite now of Sean McKiernan's, who was a great friend of the family, and Sean was here only what?
2 or 3 nights ago.
2 or 3 nights ago he called in, so he's a great friend of the family's, and he likes this particular tune, so I'd like to mention that about Sean and this tune as well, because he's a great guy. I love his piping and his company, and he's very fond of the family, and we're very fond of him, so we'll play this for him as well. Okay.
So Dad was talking a bit about the Doireann festival there. So me and Dad actually, we go there every year. It's kind of the first weekend in May. We go down, and that's where I actually picked up some of my sean-nós dancing steps. So when I was younger, there weren't many sean-nós dancing teachers really in Dublin at all. So I'd Siobhán Davitt for probably 6 months or so, and then she went off. I think she was doing a bit of travel or a bit of study. So it was up to Dad, I think, for us to get on the road and to bring me to workshop and to festival after festival to pick up a few of the steps. So the Doireann festival is actually, I had Porco Hibbakeen back there one time. He gave me a few steps, and I was lucky enough that Dad was actually working with Mick, Curran, a lovely, great dancer as well. He was working with him over in Finglas, so I used to go there sometimes after school, and we'd find an old prefab out the back, and he used to give me a step or two.
We're going to finish with a jig, and it's the Carrow jig, and then we'll finish, go into a reel after that. Caoimhe is going to dance the Stony Steps. So, like I say, go ramína maith with Galéir agus Winsultas Gacrod an Ceol agus a Dawsa. All right, slán go fóill.
We were all very saddened to hear of the death of Ben Lennon in March of this year. Ben was a fabulous musician, and we were really looking forward to hearing him play as part of Ace Deuce 2020, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. The last time he played for the Uilleann was in 2016, when he performed as part of the Sessions with the Pipers series in the Cobblestone in Dublin. With him that night was his son Brian, and indeed Seamus Quinn, and we're delighted that they're here today to play for us along with Ciarán Curran. Ace Deuce Píosa ón Gartlan.
So here we are in Denvir, and 3 of us anyway. Seamus, Ciarán, myself. One man missing. He's very much here, but he's not here at the same time. That's Ben, my father, of course. But we'll talk about him anyway in a wee while. We're going to start off with a great favourite of his called The Kid in the Mountain. Great jig, one of the big jigs, as he'd say himself, and recorded by Michael Coleman. Should we have a go at that? Yep.
I'm just conscious as we're playing here that this room is so redolent with Ben's presence. I remember one time reading a book. I did read a book once, and it talked about it was talking about the presence of God in nature. A man called Tony DeMello, and what he said was, he says, the presence of God in nature is a bit like walking into a room after somebody has got up out of the bed and threw the clothes back and they've just gone out to the toilet. And that's what this room feels like. It's as if Ben has just gone out to the toilet. The whole place is oozing with his presence, with his personality, with his welcome, with his ease with people, with his... it's just the right place to be. And I've been conscious of that from the minute I walked in. I know that his family haven't changed nothing, and it's so lovely to see that. His books are still there on the table. As Brian pointed out earlier, his chair is there. The only thing, the fire isn't lit, thank God. We had the tea earlier on, and which you couldn't do without. It's good and strong as always. And we're playing his tunes, and he's as near to being here as it's possible to be. This is what
For
I would
sure,
say.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
That's just it's
Yeah.
just is the right place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And he was really looking forward to this gig. I was saying that to the lads earlier. He was delighted to be asked to do this Ace Deuce of Piping. He was on for it like 91, not a bother, ready for road.
Not at all.
He would have had all the sets picked and
That's
everything organised, you know.
Absolutely.
So we were so used to him just sort of running the show. But anyway, we have to run the show now. That's the way it is.
Right. He was the driving
waits
force.
for
He
no
was
man.
the inspiration. He was the boss. He was
Yeah.
the welcomer. He
Yeah.
was the manager. He was the
leader. Yeah, he was the
everything,
leader. Yeah. We're going to play a few hornpipes that he was very fond of.
That's right. These were big tunes of his, weren't
Yeah,
they? Yeah,
Seamus,
very
yeah.
much so. For a long time.
Yeah.
Aye, they were indeed.
So Fishers and Dunphy's hornpipe. Shall we have a go at them, I suppose?
Yeah, yeah.
See how that goes. thanks very much. We're going to finish off with a set of reels. Lucy Campbell and the Duke of Leinster. We're delighted to be part of the concert. We're going to hand back to Síle now after these set of reels, and thanks very much for inviting us. And
Yeah,
we'll have a go at these.
Well, Thomas, tacu go dtí ceann scríbe, agus bhálam mo bhuachas a gáil libse. Thank you to you, the audience, for tuning in to our virtual event. Keep an eye out for other virtual events that will be happening in the next while, particularly International Uilleann Piping Day, which will happen on November 7th. Mo bhuachas le chulagan inseo ag na príomhdaí Uilleann, le Matthew Cassidy, le Victor Zellips, agus le John Blake, agus tá písa amháin eile ceol fácaíoin riomh. Ach bhálam mo bhuachas a gáil ar dús leis na ceoltarí ar fád. Thank you so much to all of the musicians for inviting us into their homes and for performing for us. Fácam with an ishib le Brian Lennon, Seamus Quinn agus Ciarán Curran.